Today, Ty Montgomery gave an interview to the Saints website, John DeShazer, talked a little bit about why he made the decision to pick New Orleans. And I was really intrigued. He said, quote, speaking with my agent, quoting Ty Montgomery here, said, speaking with my agent, this is just a perfect opportunity for someone in my position who basically has kind of struggled a little bit in trying to find my niche and my role in offenses. Being drafted as a receiver, moving to running back, sort of being in different boxes, trying to figure out how to fit best in an offense. I think the Saints offense gives me that. Be real. You're listening to that quote or you're reading that quote and you're thinking, yeah, that's Sean Payton's MO. I mean, it's what Sean does. Struggling to find my niche. Drafted as a receiver, moving to running back, different boxes, trying to figure out how to fit in an offense. That is what Sean Payton does, and does better than, you could argue, any coach in the history of the NFL. Let's not forget that he turned Marcus Colston, a tight end at Hofstra, taken in the 7th round, into the franchise's all-time leading receiver. And God bless Marcus Colston, because when he showed up for rookie minicamp, he was wearing 2. He was the first guy to wear number 2 after Aaron Brooks. And when he couldn't catch anything that first rookie minicamp, was like, that poor guy, that number is cursed forever in the history of this organization. And he turns into the best receiver in Saints history until now. And Pierre Thomas. No NFL team wanted Pierre Thomas. He was an undrafted free agent out of Illinois. Sean Payton turned him into one of the best third down running backs, certainly of his era. That's safe to say. They found Pierre Thomas's niche, what made him awesome. He was so good at the screen game. He was fantastic. Alvin Kamara, third round running back that Sean Payton identified how to utilize his skill set. Now Kamara's caught 80 balls each of his 3 years in the NFL. The rookie of the year. And we can talk about Taysom Hill. I mean, the guy was a quarterback that was at Green Bay that Payton was like, And now he's basically created a role in his offense that other teams are trying to emulate with athletic quarterbacks. That's basically what just happened with Jalen Hurts. He got drafted to be the Taysom Hill in Philly. So I don't think there's any coach better in the NFL than Sean Payton to figure out what to do with Ty Montgomery. I love this signing. I love the Saints adding Ty Montgomery because we have talked ever since the offseason. They added Emmanuel Sanders, and everyone assumed that in the draft, the Saints were going to go wide receiver. We all assumed at some point in the draft they were going to take a receiver. They didn't. And my point coming out of the draft was they're probably going to be okay because they have enough pass catchers, even if it's not a traditional receiver. You've got Mike Thomas, who's going to catch 140 balls. You got Emmanuel Sanders, who can still blow the top off of a defense. Kamara's going to catch 80 balls because he's caught 80 balls each of his 3 years in the NFL. And then you still got Jared Cook, and you drafted Adam Troutman. Like, they've got pass catchers. And then undrafted guys like Marquez Callaway or Juwan Johnson, one of those, or Lil Jordan Humphrey, Emmanuel Butler from a year ago. You got options to make this work. Like, Sean can make it work. Now you've added another veteran guy. Mike Lombardi was with us just a bit ago and said he's still a guy that can blow a top off a defense. That you can move all over the formation. And when he's on the field, you don't know. Is he a running back? Is he a receiver? Like, it's brilliant for the way Sean Payton likes to move the chess pieces on the board. And what you did coming out of the draft, when we all looked and said, man, the Saints need a wide receiver and they need a third running back as well, depending on if they're going to stick with Dwayne Washington, you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Versatility is the key to making an NFL roster, unless if you're an elite player. Can you do multiple things? A lot of people who didn't love the Andrus Peat signing, and I'm with you, I think the Saints gave him way more money than anyone expected. Sometimes we forget he's also your backup left tackle. And Teron Armstead hasn't been the picture of health in his NFL career. So not only do you have your starting left guard, but you also have your backup left tackle in one guy. That's what makes you more valuable, is your versatility. And the thing is, when we think of Ty Montgomery, we may think of him as a running back, and mostly because when he was in Green Bay, it was so odd looking at a guy playing running back wearing jersey number 88. Like, that was just the odd thing. And then, of course, he wore the same number when he was with the Jets as well. But I look at Ty Montgomery and we think running back, but realistically, Ty Montgomery spent 4 years at Stanford as a receiver. In 4 years at Stanford, he caught 172 passes. He ran the ball 39 times. In the NFL, he has been the absolute poster child for versatility. In his NFL career, Ty Montgomery has run the ball 192 times. He's caught 120 passes, and he's also returned 35 kickoffs. Like, this guy is the definition of versatility in the NFL. He is what Sean Payton has thrived in this league in finding roles for different players. So you get a versatile veteran wide receiver that can play inside or out. So now you've got Thomas, Sanders, Montgomery, and now there's less pressure on the next crop of guys. Manuel Butler, Jordan Humphrey, Marquez Callaway, Juwan Johnson, like maybe Deontay Harris. Maybe one of those guys really takes a giant step this year, but if not, that's okay because you've got three veterans that you feel really good about, and then you supplement behind them. You've also got a guy who can be your number 3 running back. If Latavius Murray gets nicked and you need a complement to Kamara, you got him in Ty Montgomery. If Kamara has the issues he had a year ago, you could put Montgomery in the backfield. If you need a fourth quarter closer, a guy who can come in with fresh legs and run the ball between the tackles, Ty Montgomery can do that. And you've got a return man as well. The guy's returned 35 kickoffs in his NFL career. Deontay Harris was a Pro Bowler last year, and you hope that he has another amazing year this year. But if he gets injured, you've got a backup. Or if you want to focus Harris more on wide receiver, Montgomery could be a return guy for you. Point is, you've signed another Swiss Army knife. You've signed another guy that can do so many different things, and you're giving him to the coach who has been better, arguably, than any in history at finding roles for guys who are versatile and being creative within that offense. So I love this signing. Ty Montgomery might be a guy that if he goes anywhere else, he's just an average guy. You know, he's obviously a very good athlete who's been in the NFL for half decade. But in any other offense, he's just a guy who might catch 20 or 30 balls in a year and just, be that other option. In New Orleans, he could be the guy that gives Sean Payton an even greater competitive advantage because when he's on the field, you don't know what he's going to do. You could line him up in the I formation. You could flex him out. You can motion him out of the backfield. Like, I don't know. Let Sean Payton figure that out. He's pretty good at it. Love it. Absolutely love the Ty Montgomery signing.